What is a transfer tax and who pays it? We're going to talk about that next. Hey there, my name is Ryan Skaggs, and this is the Mortgage Minute. This channel is dedicated to everything mortgage, real estate, and interest rates. We're going to start with those interest rates. So I'll push right up here, the average 30-year fixed according to Freddie Mac. You can check out the link below to see that week-to-week chart. So we've had a pretty good last few weeks. If you want to get kind of more detail in terms of where we've been from 7.08 last year, that was our high, October, November, to, a 10-year period, check out that link below. Really, really great survey. While you're down there, I'd be forever grateful. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and click that bell icon to be notified as I'm putting out weekly videos on the channel. Now, this week, we're going to talk about transfer tax. In LA, and I'll link below to some of these changes, they have a 4% and a 5.5% transfer tax once you've capped over, say, 5 million and 10 million and blah, blah, blah. And it just got me thinking of transfer taxes. What are they? Who pays for them? I get these questions all the time in my mortgage business, so I wanted to outline that for you. Now, if you're out in LA, it is nuts the amount of money that's going to be you're going to be hit with when you, as a seller, in some of these transactions. And yes, 99.9% of us are not going to own a $5 million property, but out there it does go to commercial properties. And the rule also states that if you're taking a loss, even though that transfer tax wasn't around when you bought the property, if you're taking a loss, if you bought it high and have to sell a little bit lower, you still get hit with that tax. So pretty significant kind of implementation of a tax. Now, transfer tax as a whole is meant for the municipality, village, state, whatever it may be, to have a source of revenue. So I am sitting in Wilmette, Illinois. There's a $3 for every $1,000 of purchase price buyer paid transfer tax. So for a $1 million property, $3 per $1,000 of purchase price. That would be 1,000 times 3, $3,000. So that would be a $3,000 transfer tax for the buyer. In the city of Chicago, for instance, $7.50. Now, where's this money going, right? How do you calculate? How do you know where's this money going? Well, first and foremost, ask your lender. Where are you looking at? What are your closing costs? If they're outlining closing costs, they're going to likely be outlining if you're going to be buying into one of these areas that has a transfer tax. So say every single time I get a client that's looking in the city of Chicago, I outline, hey, you're going to have roughly a few $1,000s worth of transfer tax. Here's what it is. Here's how much it costs based on your scenario, right? We can just do that math pretty simply. Now, who actually pays for it? Now, there's some seller, there's some buyer, so you need to look it up from a municipality. The easiest way that I could tell you is go to your favorite search engine and just say, is there a transfer tax in insert your city, right? That's probably the easiest way. Title companies typically have a really great matrix or resource. So if one of those links you find, blah, 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 title company, and it'll say transfer taxes updated as of insert a date, April of 2023, then likely you're going to know that you can go down, find your municipality, find your county, find your state, whatever it may be, and be able to say, yes, I do have one, or no, I don't have one, right? You can ask your real estate agent. Typically, they're going to have that information, though that those numbers or those closing costs do fall onto typically the lender to be explaining as part of the process, right? So in the village of Wilmette, using that as an example again, Wilmette, Illinois, $3 since 1988. Now, according to kind of historic conversations I've had with people that have been around here for 30 plus years. I was 6 years old living in Indiana at the time, so I am not a historical Wilmette individual here. But with that said, is we've got brick streets, we've got beautiful brick streets. I'm gonna put a quick little kind of picture up here so that way you can see beautiful brick streets with oil lamps, just really cool neighborhood vibe in these kind of neighboring streets, the downtown area. So as the story goes is that this got passed through to basically create revenue to keep these streets intact, not have to blacktop over or really kind of modernize. It's going to have an additional cost. It's going to cost people a lot of extra money, but they wanted to keep it. So that's how some of those things came into fruition, right? So city of Evanston, which is literally right on the other side. I'm looking at Evanston while I'm sitting in Wilmette because we're that close. Evanston, Illinois has a progressive tax, meaning you sell over 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, blah, blah, blah. They've got a progressive tax. So that's what that means is as you go up in price, they're paying a higher potential transfer tax. So my advice to you is ask your lender, ask your real estate agent, the areas that I'm looking at, what should I expect in terms of taxes? Is there any sort of thing? Remember, this is not property taxes. I'll put up a quick definition. My favorite search engine, will chat GPT here, transfer tax. What is it, right? So if you want to pause here real quick, you can see the exact definition. But with that said, basically a tax between purchasing some sort of property. Sometimes there's a buyer, sometimes there's a seller related cost, but all in all, you definitely want to understand in the areas that you're looking at if there is this additional fee, because it could be caught you off guard if you're not aware. So put your comments below. What is your transfer tax? Do you know if you have a transfer tax in your area? I would love to see the comments below on exactly how much these other areas across the country might be. So stay safe, and we'll see each other again very, very soon.